In this video, we're going to find the answer to life's #1 question. Who is the strongest superhero? Well, that's a Hulk, and that's obvious. But we're going to find the answer to the #2 question of life, and that is, which is stronger, CBCS or CGC? We're going to put these cases through the toughest of challenges. We're going to drop them from waist high. Then we're going to go up to the tallest heights that we possibly can and drop them from there. See how strong these cases really are. Then we're going to spill coffee on them, and then we're going to see if they're as waterproof as Submariner and submerge them in water. And then maybe at the end, if we're really lucky, Thor will come down with Mjolnir and bash these things as well. Now, CBCS and CGC cases are very, very similar with a few key differences. They're both about the same height and width, but the thickness, CGC is slightly thicker at a ½ inch. So each of them come with a hard shell outer case, but inside they're in a softer inner sleeve that encloses the comic book itself. Now, in order to have 100% accuracy, we cannot take the comic books out, as that would compromise the case itself. So we want to do it 100% as if you had it at home yourself. Now, yes, these comic books are going to get damaged inside, but if you want a piece of iconic YouTube comic book history, head over to collectorscomics.com and you can win these comic books, damaged and all, for free. No cost to you. We'll pay for shipping and everything at our giveaway at collectorscomics.com. Okay, so here we're going to drop the waist high drop in 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you can see, it looks pretty good, but over here on the corner, it pretty much landed and shattered the entire thing. A big piece came off of it right there, as you can see. But other than that, it looks good. Okay, now we're gonna drop it, but on its face. 3, 2, 1. Okay, dropped on its face. Everything is pretty much fine. Nothing happened to it, except on the back, it got a new crack right through there from dropping it on its face. Much of this has been the tension of where it hit, and it looks a little opened up here. You can see it kind of jumped open. Okay, so now we're going to do the same test, but with a CBCS book. Let's see if it fares any different. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I've never actually seen this happen before, so it's very interesting, but if you look at it, it looks pretty good. Like, it held up. There's a tiny little crack on the side, you can see there, but the back looks fully intact. I kind of figured that CBCS had a little bit stronger cases, but the weirdest part is if you look at that inner sleeve, the inner sleeve got cracked, and there's a big crack through it, which I've never seen anything like that before. The outer hard shell, perfectly fine, but the inner sleeve, completely cracked all the way through. Very strange. Okay, now we're gonna do it, but hitting it on its face. 3, 2, 1. As you can see, literally nothing happened to it. No cracks, no new. There's obviously some scuffing along here where it hit the concrete, but other than that, it's totally fine. We still have that crack from before, but it looks pretty good. Nothing has really happened to it. Okay, so now we are up 20 feet almost, and we're gonna drop it from here because we know some of you out there are actually really, really, really tall, and so this is your average height where you're dropping them from. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so CGC, it looks like a piece broke off the back and the whole case just kind of came apart like this. The comic itself, I can slide it out and you can see the inner sleeve here. It looks undamaged. I don't see anything wrong with the comic itself, so at least the case did protect it. Okay, now we got CBCS here, and let's see how this one does from almost 20 feet up. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you can see, this one completely got destroyed, cracks everywhere. It looks like, though, the comic is fine that it's inside the case. So we know if you're really tall and you drop it from 20 feet high, at least the comic book appears to have 0 damage to it. Now that Thor has lent me his hammer, let's see if these graded comic books can withstand the power of Thor. Drew, what are you doing? I'm trying to film! By the power of Odin. So as you can see from the hammer strike of Thor, it looks like they both are similar damage, but it's hard to tell, but it looks like CBCS, the comic itself, got bent and damaged inside. But also if you look at the back, it cracked the back as well. This is a shorter crack, but more of them, and this is a longer crack on CBCS. Time for a break. And when you're tired, you know what you need? This sponsors Columbia Decaffeinated Coffee Crystals. Ugh. And as you can see, both CGC and CBCS are coffee proof. Okay, now we're gonna see if CGC is as waterproof as Submariner. Into the pool it goes. 3, 2, 1. Now for CBCS. 3, 2, 1. So as you can see, they are not waterproof because you can see in the corner, the water is inside the case. Same with this one, not nearly as much though, just a little bit of water. But they have that inner sleeve that is protecting the comics, so the comics should be safe. And now the final test is to see if the inner sleeve did keep them safe and waterproof. And to test that, we're gonna run them over with a car. And now we're gonna run these comics over with a car. And I'd like to thank this video sponsor, Rivian, for donating this car for this very purpose. Well, just as I thought. They're strong enough to withstand a car. So if you look at the damage, actually it's not that bad. The CBCS case held up the best. There's just a little crack on the side, right here, as you can see right here. And yeah, and it looks like CGC, the whole side shattered on both angles. Now we're gonna run them over again, but in reverse. Okay, so let's check out the damage. It looks like the CGC one is pretty damaged. Pieces everywhere. But I would say the clear winner is CBCS. A few cracks at the top, got ran over twice, and barely any damage. CBCS is so strong, you can run it over with our sponsor, Rivian. Okay, now to see if it's waterproof. After being ran over, looks like I got cracked there. It is not waterproof, probably because it got ran over and it did get wet on the inside, but probably because it got ran over. CBCS case obviously fared much better. It looks like the case did remain waterproof and did not get cracked. The inner sleeve did not get cracked by getting ran over. There's no signs of water inside the comic book. And if you want these comic books, like and subscribe and head over to collectorscomics.com.